Well, looks like we got a terrible show tonight in Dublin, Ireland. Can you believe it? Terrible show tonight. Name my topic tonight is called. Let's see what my topic tonight is called. Name my topic tonight is called Disaster and Disappointment in Dublin, Ireland. Will Clash in Paris be any good 1 week from will Clash in Paris be good 1 week from 3 weeks from 2 weeks from this Sunday on 2 weeks from this Sunday. Then I'm gonna give y'all my NXT Wave predictions. Then I'm gonna give all you my NXT Waves predictions as well. Before I do, I'm gonna open up the show a little bit of music. I'm gonna open up the show with this song from let's see, the song from the Judge Dredd soundtrack called Never by the Cure called The Cure. Yeah, the Dread song, the Dread song by the Cure from the Judge Dredd soundtrack. Yeah, so stick around, right back, and get the song playing. Here we go. Yep, The Cure. All you just heard, Dread song from the Judge Dredd movie soundtrack. I was heard the end credits of the movie. And I got some breaking news for all of you. Before I stop my review. Um, Pat McAfee is back next month in September. Yep. Yep. Pat McAfee is back in September. Yeah. Pat McAfee is back in September. Yeah, you'll be at WrestlePalooza. You'll be at WrestlePalooza. The event WrestlePalooza. Yeah, WrestlePalooza next September. And one other thing, just been reported on Wrestle Awards video at F4 1 W Online is anticipated as the first Saturday Night's main event is exclusively aired on Peacock. It will emanate from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah, on Saturday, November the 1st. The same report also notes that a Halloween-themed episode of Smackdown will take place from the same venue on October the 31st. It was announced on Wednesday by ESPN and NBC Universal that WWE premium live events will no longer air on Peacock following Clash in Paris on August 31st and will move to the ESPN, taking place 6 months early. In addition to the new multi-year partnership, all Saturday's main event specials will no longer cast on NBC, will be exclusive to Peacock. They are really desperate, really desperate. So let's get down with tonight's show in Dublin. WWE Then Now Forever Together opens. We open with a view of Dublin. WWE superstars making their way into the 3A arena for tonight's show, with commentary confirming that Jason Mateo and Tonga Leo will face the Street Profits later. We head to the inside for the arena for an electric crowd as commentary hypes up the show. We find out our opening show with the appearance from the man Horror as Becky Lynch's music hits as the Women's Intercontinental Champion makes her way down to the ring from a huge popular homeland crowd. The champ says, "Look at us, lads, we're on the telly," as the crowd pops once more. A "We Deserve It" chant breaks out. We Deserve It" chant breaks after Becky points out that we're live from Dublin for the first time ever. Becky talks about watching a live event from around here, always dreaming we could have TV here, and now it's happening. She finally gets to say, "You don't deserve it. None of you deserve to be on TV." Wow. She's gonna bash her own home country. She says she petitioned to get back to get this show canceled. Everything "We Want Lyra" chant reminded us she beat Valkyrie. Liger doesn't need to get another a shot at the title, and Becky tells the fans none of them have a face for a TV. She says they don't appreciate the champ, and she's aghast at the lack of media coverage for the champ. She's their hero, and they shouldn't have to say that because that's not how heroing works. This gets a shut the fuck up chant from the crowd. Something like that riles Becky up slightly because of the children in the arena. She talks about how publications say how important she is. She begins running down her accomplishments because heroes go the extra mile to a "Who are you?" chant. She lets the crowd who she is. Who she is, running down more of her accolades, saying on top of that she has a hot American husband. This gets a CM Punk chant. She continues on, turning her attention to the fact that no one in Dublin will write about her. She brings up other celebrities who get better treatment. Crowd chanting for them until Tiffany Stratton makes her way down to the ring. She bad mouth in her own home country. Becky should be ashamed of herself. Until Tiffany Stratton makes her way up to a big pop. She gets a microphone and Becky says Tiffy discussed her, but Stratton says she's surprised Becky can be so ungrateful to the fans here in Dublin. And she's also on the wrong show because everyone here knows what time it is. She tells Becky that she can leave, and on behalf of everyone here, Tiffy can make her leave. This is interrupted by Nia Jax, who agrees with Becky that Dublin sucks, but she doesn't even go here. She tells Tiffy she has bigger problems to deal with, and she attacks the women's champion. Becky joins in until Jade Cargill runs down for the save. She clears Nia from the ring, and we get a stare down between Becky and Jade before Tiffy comes in for the assist. Nick Aldis makes his way out, telling Becky that she's causing big time trouble. So she talked to Adam Pearce, and the main event has just been signed off, with Becky and Nia teaming up to take on Jade and Tiffany. Big pop for this as Becky gives out for not being appreciated. Well, Becky, you brought it upon yourself. Bad mouthing your own home country. Shame on you. At least they can cheer for Lyra, since she's luck of the Irish like Becky. Okay, we go backstage where Fraxton tries to talk to Carmella Hayes about the Miz before Miz comes in to run them down. Only for Hayes to cut in, hyping up Miz's accomplishments before giving a knowing look at Miz when he says he is smarter than everyone. Miz ends by saying they are mellow, don't Miz, and they are awesome. We head to the back as Mello don't Miz make their way to the ring for our open contest. They'll be facing the Motion Machine Guns, and that is up next. Back from commercial. We go to commercial break. Back at ringside, we see Mello and Miz having a spirited chat, presumably about last week, as Motion Machine Guns head down the ramp to get this match underway. Motion Machine Guns versus Mello don't Miz. Despite the Miz looking to start off, Hayes offers to get in. Instead, he faces off with Sabin. Hayes takes him to the mat before feigning a tag to Miz, just to rile up the crowd. Mello goes back to work, leaping over the back of Sabin before Miz tags himself. Things quickly break down, leading to Hayes and Miz on the outside, taking a double drop kick, followed by a dive from Sabin. We fade to black for our presumed U.S. ad break. Hayes continues to do work on Shelley following the tag that was made, talking to him to the canvas before Miz tags in for a running kick to the head. Mel tags right back as the crowd chants "We want Miz," as Hayes gives them what they want by tagging in Miz from a pop to the fans. Miz's awesome chants as he sends Shelley against the ropes, but Mel tags in back and are leading to another "We want Miz" chant as Hayes continues to go to work on Shelley before making a tag once more before we fade to black. to end this little break. Shelley manages to crawl away for a tag to Sabin, who leaps off the turnbuckle, taking Miz down twice. Miz is sent to the MCMG corner as the former tag champs double team Miz, leading to a near fall before Hayes breaks the pin attempt. Made to Shelley for an inverted atomic drop that leads a double team on Mello, sending him away before going back after Miz. TNA chant for the Guns as they go to work on Miz, where Mello tags himself back in. He looks to bring this to an end, going up top for nothing but net, but Miz tags himself in once more. The pair argue back before Hayes hits a long blower on Sabin before Shelley clotheslines him out of the ring. Miz sends Shelley out before covering Sabin for the win. Winners via pinfall. Mello don't Miz. Wow, they're really shitting all over Motion Machine Guns. The pair don't celebrate, with Miz pointing out how well that worked as we cut to a backstage. We hear from Jimmy Uso after the announcement was made on Monday about becoming a father. This is interrupted by Sammy, who congratulates Big Jim and says the child is always an uncle, in Sammy Uso, before Solo, Sioka, and his MFTs pop up. Solo talks about the baby and the bloodline before Sammy interrupts, leading to Sioka saying he doesn't have time for an underdog story. Zayn says Solo isn't dealing with the underdog Sami Zayn. He is dealing with WrestleMania eventer Sami Zayn. This puts to an end to proceeding as we get ready for an ad break. Commercial break. We head to the back to ringside where Piper Niven is ready to go, and Charlotte Flair gets a pretty good pop from the crowd on her way to the ring before we get this match underway. Charlotte Flair versus Piper Niven. Flair gets the upper hand early before Piper strikes back. Niven sends Flair to the corner, but Charlotte dodges to go up top for a near fall as the crowd chants, "We want Chelsea." Charlotte takes Piper down once again, climbing up to top where Chelsea intervenes long enough for the big boss man slam, garnering a near fall over the Queen as we fade to black for the US break. The crowd chanting Chelsea Green, which is stupid, as she attacks Flair while the ref is distracted, allowing Niven to stay on the attack. When the Charlotte returns to the ring, Flair manages to fight back to her feet before hitting the ropes, only to get laid out with a running crossbody that gets Piper to a near fall. She sends Flair to the corner for a splash as we fade to black, so the break comes to an end. Despite all that work, however, Flair starts fighting back with some chops before hitting a clothesline. Big boot by Charlotte eventually takes Niven to the mat, and Chelsea runs her down from ringside, leading to a DX salute from the Queen. Before she goes up top for a moonsault that gets a close two count. Charlotte gets back to her feet for a spear, but that's only good for a 2 as well. Flair looks for a figure 4 before Chelsea intervenes with an assist from Alba Fire. The hole is broken up as Green rakes the face of Flair. This gives Piper an opening for the driver that gets her the win. We're in Piper Niven. Piper leaves the ring to celebrate alongside Fire and Green. Backstage, Piper leaves the ring to celebrate alongside Fire Green. Backstage, Julia and her secretary Kiana are interrupted by Mishan, who wants an appointment with the champ. James chimes in to say all the inquiries go through her. This leads to Mishan saying she'll gladly take on Kiana before Julia defends the title against her. Julia says she's not worried before leaving. Up next, we hear more about the situation between Logan Paul and John Cena heading to Clash in Paris. Then we go to commercial break. They hype up the big news in the partnership with ESPN and WWE starting next month. And then we head to and we all know they're desperate. And then we head to ringside because the former champ is here and his TV time is now. Huge pop as John Cena makes his way to the ring. Crowd is singing along with his Fiend theme song before giving his proverbial flowers and even going to an Ole chant. He points to a ring announcer who refers to him as the greatest of all time, the unseen celebrating with all of you here in Dublin for the very last time. He's the last real champion, John Cena. Cena salutes the crowd and as the crowd chants his name once again. Before I can speak a word, Logan Paul makes his way to the ring with heavy boos. Wow. How rudely interrupted. And I suddenly feel like I need to do anything else. Alice, I have no time for Paul as he hits the ring. Fans chanting, "Fuck you, Logan." And the formerly U.S. champion is soaking it all in before pointing out they're being muted. He starts running down the crowd and then Cena cutting in and out thanks to a crowd before yelling profanities at Paul. He points out that once more that they're being muted on TV, so they need to shut up before making fun of Cena for being a company man and for doing anything for attention. When Logan Paul wants to get attention, he doesn't get to make it to the Oscars to do it. He wants to play a game, asking the crowd who the imposter is. Someone who works for every premium live event, or someone who runs off to Hollywood to pretend to be someone else. The crowd chants, "Who are you?" Second time they've done this. Logan reminds them who he is. Cena cuts to an low call and exists undeniable presence, a future Hall of Fame or a future WrestleMania event. The crowd boos as this goes on. Cena says they're all things that are true, and that makes him upset. There are plenty of things to say about Logan Paul, but the biggest word is used for Logan is outsider. He talks about how there was a lot of promise over Paul when he started, but he's become a disappointment. Cena says that Paul was welcomed with open arms, but instead of respecting them, he leaves the ring, walking over to Prime hydration station. He says Paul used WWE as a branding opportunity so he can get enough money to buy another Pokemon card. With that, he tips over the station. He runs down Paul some more, talking about how much he disrespects WWE before flipping the script by saying Logan Paul isn't an outsider, he is a parasite. Logan Paul is a jagged pill, and the truth is Logan Paul has sucked away opportunities deserving superstars like Dom Mysterio, AJ Styles, and among others. The crowd chants, "We want Styles," as Cena says he thinks the fans is wasting his time with the likes of Logan Paul, but he does have his opportunity at Clash in Paris. He makes bright lights of Logan's legal issues before telling Paul that he better bring his A game to Logan Clash in Paris because he's dealing with the greatest of all time, and he's not going to let Logan waltz into Paris with his drone behind him. Backflipping flipping YouTuber selling Salt Walter, he closes out things with a double A on Logan to a huge pop. Backstage, we see Tiffy and telling Jay that he didn't need her to help her earlier tonight, leading to what is already a dissension between the pair ahead of our main event. Backstage, we backstage to ringside. We go to Street Profits to make their way out, ready to take on Jason Mateo to Tonga Leo as we go to commercial break. Backstage, an angry Logan Paul was giving some words of wisdom. To this time by Drew McIntyre, that tells him to make things right tonight, like he did with Cody Rhodes. Backstage, MFT make their way out with JC and Leo ready to go at it as much gets underway. Street Profits versus MFT, JC Mateo and Tonga Leola. Dawkins and Leola start things off with Angelo hitting a dropkick for an upper hand. Tag to 4 with Tez taking Tonga down for a standing moonsault for a 2 count. Leola sends him to the MFT corner for a tag to Mateo, who goes to work on 4 as the crowd chants OTC and sings Roman Reigns until Montez fights back, sending JC Mateo to the corner. Leola tries to intervene, but to no avail. The ref is distracted, allowing Leola to send him into the ring post as we get the muted audio indicating a break for the US, our country. Leola brings Ford back into the ring as the crowd chants "Fuck you, Solo," as JC gets tagged in to keep on the attack. He has Tez up against the ropes for the with the Sioka getting a shot while the ref is busy dealing with Mateo. Tag made to Tonga Leola, who keeps Tez from the tag before sending him to the corner. Backstage, Suplex gets a near fall, and Leola goes for a front headlock to keep Ford to the mat. Montez fights to his feet, but is smacked with the right hand before Mateo tags back in. JC keeps Ford on the ropes before hoisting up for a deadlift suplex as the crowd chants, "You can't wrestle," at the guy who is arguably the best pure wrestling resume of the match. All us muted audio means we're back from the break. JC Mateo takes Ford back down for another near fall before sending him to the corner before lodges of the elbow strike. Tag made by Leola to keep Taz isolated, landing some shots to send him to the ropes. Ford forces him out of the ring before crawling to his corner, getting a hot tag to Dawkins just as Mateo tags in as well. Dawkins is sent to the ropes, but uses the momentum to take JC down before sending him to the corner for an enziguri. He sets Mateo up on the turnbuckle and then on his shoulders, but JC breaks free. Things break down as after a tag is made to Ford. Tao Tonga knocks him off the turnbuckle, allowing Mateo to hit the tour of the islands, but Tez kicks out at the count of 2. Tala gets on the apron to intervene, but takes a shot back to Jimmy Uso. This just turns to Big Man's attention toward Big Jim. The two go at it just as the crowd tells Soul tries to call Tala back only to be dropped onto the announce table by Sami Zayn. With outside factors out of play, this allows Ford to fight back for a tag to Dawkins. He takes Mateo down, winning tagging back to Ford and leaping to it for a leaping splash that gets the Profits to win. Wins via pinfall, the Street Profits. They celebrate as we go to a commercial break. We head back to the ringside as Aleister Black heads down the ramp. He enters the ring ready to take on R-Truth, who appears on the screen to tell us that he can't make it because he accidentally made a flight to Dublin, Georgia. He doesn't even know there was more one place with the name Dublin. My bad. He lets Aleister Black know that he called a friend in to say hello to his little friend. Out comes Damian Priest, who looks a little revenge after Black did to him 3 weeks ago. Out they go, and match who go. Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. Just kidding, this match didn't actually happen as they brawl in and out of the ring until security rushes down to break things up. They're sent away as we go to a look back at what Drew McIntyre did to Cody Rhodes. There's no medical update on Rhodes as Drew McIntyre comes in asking about it. Drew offers an official update on Cody, calling him a bitch before running the ramp down some more, saying he's got no more friends in WWE. Randy Orton has something to say about that, sneaking up behind Drew for an RKO out of well. Out of nowhere, Orton music hits as the crowd starts singing along. But Orton didn't come out. Backstage, Becky Lynch is getting warmed up when Nia Jax talks to her about working together just long enough to take Tiffy and Jade tonight. Now, main event is up next. We're on to commercial break. Back at ringside, Tiffany and Jay are already in the ring. Nia finishes her entrance, so the man makes her way out, and this main event gets underway. Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch and Nia Jax versus Women's SmackDown Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. We start off with Tiffany and Becky, the latter being sent out of the ring, allowing for the big senton off the apron by the women's champion. She finally gets to her feet and back in the ring, but Becky makes the tag to Jax, who picks up the two, as we get a muted audio indicating a break. Jax brings Tiffany to the corner before tagging in Lynch, who goes to work on her elbow on our fellow champion for a forearm strike. Tag back to Nia, who tags Tiffany in the corner, clinching in a modified Cobra Clutch to keep Stratton down for on the mat. Tiffany starts to fight back, taking Nia down for a 2 count as we come back from the break. Back from the break. Hot tag to Jay Cargill as Becky tags in as well. The two square up, with Cargill getting the upper hand, sending the Women's Intercontinental Championship back. The Women's Intercontinental Championship until Becky fights back. She goes up, but is caught by Jay, who hits a follow-away slam on the man whore to send her to the mat. Becky is back in the corner as Jay lands on a couple of kicks, followed by a torture rack into a spinning powerbomb for a 2. Jay is sent on to the corner once again, but dodges Jay for a tag to Jax. Jay is not seeing the tag, forces Lynch to escape through the ropes before Nia blindsides her. Jax goes up top for Annihilator, but gets reversed for a powerbomb. Tag made to Tiffany, though a strike in the corner, and leads to Jay getting back to the tag as Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsault ever, followed by a splash by Jay for the pin in the win. Wins pinfall SmackDown Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. There's still tension between the pair, despite celebrating the win as SmackDown comes to a close. Wait, backstage we see Cena getting toward the parking lot when Nick Aldis stops him. He said he just heard from Brock Lesnar that Name gets some booze, but before we get any information, comes Logan Paul, hit and run, right in hand, laying out the former champ. He tells Cena he'll see him in Paris before running back off with Aldis looking for help as SmackDown officially comes to a close. That was garbage. It was just Logan Paul ruined it. He was just about telling that Brock Lesnar Brock Lesnar coming to face him. And until then bam, this arrogant piece of garbage, piece of shit. Logan Paul texted him from mine, and I don't know why I didn't see him fight back. That was just stupid. Stupid ending right there, man. Just stupid. It's crap. Okay. You talk about. You see Piper Niven becoming a little bit of a sore loser. Even though I'm not the big of a Charlotte Flair fan. Yeah. Oh wait. What was I talking about? Piper did win. Yeah, it was talking about Piper did win. What was I talking about? Yeah, they made Charlotte. Even though I'm not a big Charlotte Flair fan, but they made Charlotte weak tonight. Really weak. I know why didn't wait. Payback. Yeah, Alexa Bliss didn't came out to her aid to help Charlotte Flair. And even though I'm not a big fan of Piper Niven, or not a fan of Piper Niven, or like as much as I'm a fan of Charlotte, but Charlotte kind of got what she deserved tonight, because that's payback for not coming to her aid last Friday. Um, um, Alexa Bliss for not coming to her aid when she got attacked by Chelsea and Piper. So she got what Charlotte kind of deserved tonight, because I know that Charlotte Flair is gonna gonna be very upset with Alexa. She's gonna tell her, why didn't you come to aid me from Piper Niven last week? And she's gonna call her a hypocrite because Charlotte didn't come to her aid last Friday on Smackdown, which is August 15th of this year, Friday. So that's it. That's my little review. Now I know what it's time for. It's time for it's time for sorry about that, like loud ass. Sorry about that. My bad. All you know what it's time for. It's time for Justin's Town History, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and all that stuff. All you hear that thing is a tune from y'all hear from Back to the Future. I'll celebrate his 40th anniversary, July 3rd, 1985. Because the movie was released on July 3rd. Yeah, the movie was released on July 3rd, 1985, and it celebrates its 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025. So let's get this show rolling. Let's go to yesterday, August the 22nd. Okay, yesterday was happy 38th birthday to Apollo Crews. Yesterday would have been happy 101st birthday to Irish, Australian, New Zealand wrestler Pat O'Connor. He died of cancer on August 16, 1990 in St. Louis, Missouri. And he died at the age of I believe 65. Just days before his birthday, before his 66th birthday on August 16th. Oh, I mean August the 22nd. Sorry. And let's see what else. 1975 in the St. Louis show and promoted NWA St. Louis show in St. Louis, Missouri. Friday, August 22nd, 1975. NWA in Kiel Auditorium, St. Louis, Missouri. 5,164 were in attendance. Danny Little Bear defeated Soldier Zanoff LeBeau. Tank Patton defeated Keo Sato. Rene Goulet defeated Prince Tapu. Dick Murdoch defeated Mike Douglas. Bob Geagle and Jerry Oates and Wilbur Snyder defeated Bill Miller and Bobby the Brain Heenan and Wolf Wilkowski in a 6-person tag team elimination match. And Howard Reese and Soul Man Rocky Johnson fought in a draw in 2 out of 3 falls for the NWA World title. In AWA, show took place. House show took place promoted by the AWA American Wrestling Association in Winnipeg Arena, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Bob Brown defeated Mountain Mike. The Irwin brothers defeated Buck Zumhofe and Rob Steiner. Rich Steiner. Leaping Larry Zbyszko and Scott Hall fought in the draw. Tom Zink defeated Steve Regal. Baron Von Ranch defeated Nick Botman by countout. Jerry Blackwell and Larry Dax Hannon. Tom Zink defeated Buddy Roberts and Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy 6-person tag. Boris Zukov defeated Nick Martel NWA AWA World Heavyweight Championship defeat. Boris Zukov defeated Rick Martel by DQ. Yeah, Boris Zukov defeated Rick Martel for the AWA World Heavyweight title by DQ. Rick the Mom Martel. Let's see what else. Let's see. Okay, 1995 on WCW Prime, pre Monday Night Wars. Oh, they're showing it was just recaps and everything. We just hold on 1 second. Oh, wait a minute. These are August 22nd birthday. What am I talking about? This is August 21st. Sorry, let me start. I messed up again, everybody. Well, I said it was August the 22nd birthday. So I'm gonna start say it again, but I'm going back to August 21st. Messed up here. I said I get stuff for August 21st, but today is August 22nd. Yesterday was August 21st. I'm saying let's start off again. What's wrong with me here? Okay. Yesterday was the 40th anniversary of the death of Mexican wrestler Expectro II. He died on August 21st, 1985, and he was born on October 3rd, 1940. And he was a masked luchador. His real name is Gerardo Tapia Salinas. Eve Torres turned 41. yesterday. Former WWE wrestler Eve Torres. Keith Hart of the Hart family, Bret Hart's older brother. He turned he was yeah Canadian American wrestler Keith Hart, Bret Hart's older brother. Keith Hart, he turned 73. See what else. Trent Seven turned Trent Seven turned 44 yesterday. And Judy Grable, South Florida native Judy Grable, she turned female wrestler from WWE wrestler in WWF. Judy Grable, she would have been 90 years old yesterday, and she died on diabetes on May 11th, 2008. She yeah. She was a South Florida native. And let's see, and now 1995 on WCW Prime. Yeah, Harlem Heat defeated Tracy Benton, and Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty Sue defeated Los Special Latos. See, yeah, Monday Night Raw. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. Despicable act happened. I know my friend from Pittsburgh remembers this moment. Yeah, Monday Night Raw, and the night before SummerSlam '95. Man on a Mission defeated Roy Raymond and John and Hancock, and then Man on a mission. After the match was over, Man on a mission came out. King Mabel grabbed the microphone. He wanted to challenge the Allied Powers for an impromptu tag team match. Then the 1-2-3 Kid defeated Brooklyn Brawler. Then the Undertaker defeated the Native American Tatanka, and then John Pierre defeated Scott Taylor. Some of you know as the Sky Tuhati. And then there was a little segment that happened here on Monday Night Raw. This is what happened on Monday Night Raw, August 21st, 1995. I'm going to show it to you. Big Daddy Cool came out. Some of you know it's Kevin Nash. He came out of the ring. He came out to the ring, getting an interview with Vince McMahon. And Davey Boy Smith came out and he told Diesel Kevin Nash that Lex Luger couldn't be here tonight. Couldn't be here tonight. Because he has a little medical emergency. So which has to be BS because he recently turned down Lex Luger in house shows, and Lex Luger no-showed later because the WWE withdrew his contract, leaving him to come back to WCW. Made his WCW appearance on September 4th, 1995, and debut with Nitro, September 4th, 1995. And then what happened was this is what happened. Yeah, and then Big Daddy Cool Diesel, and British Bulldog told him if he can be his tag team partner for the night, and Big Daddy Cool agrees. And here, I'm going to show all the audio piece. Here it is.
Speaking of McMahon,
ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the man who will defend the World Wrestling Federation Championship this Sunday at SummerSlam. Here it is, Big Daddy Cool. King Mabel.
No way.
Well, Big Daddy Cool was born ready. Just how ready? Now, a lot of people have been saying since Mabel won this crown, literally it's went to his head. But hey, anybody that's been watching the World Wrestling Federation the last couple of weeks has got to say one thing: this big cat has definitely picked it up a notch.
That's right.
Yeah, made a huge impact. No question about it. Matter of fact, just a couple of weeks ago, an awesome impact with you when you were taking on Sir Mo. You know, I thought I had a clean win against Sir Mo. And I thought for once I was no longer going to have to worry about my backside. I jackknifed Mo, In comes Mabel. Thank God the Heartbreak Kid was there for me.
Yeah, he got what he deserved.
Well, you unquestionably have been there for him. However, this is single competition, and many individuals feel that you will be unable to jackknife the 568-pound Mabel.
Right, right.
Now I know that Big King Mabel's sitting in here somewhere thinking to himself, Big Daddy Cool can't jackknife me. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can. We're gonna find out at SummerSlam.
Huh?
You know something, big boy? When the dust clears and the sweat dries, the World Wrestling Federation will still be running on diesel power.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. You forget about Roy's plan, you know. Hey, wait a minute. Here comes that flea-bitten mongrel, the British Bulldog. Bulldog, maybe a poodle with an attitude, I don't know, but not a
The
bulldog.
British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Where's Lex?
First of all, Big Daddy Cool, I'd like to wish you good luck this Sunday night at SummerSlam.
He's gonna need it.
However, my partner, Lex Luger, had to go home for medical emergency back to Atlanta. And we got Mo and Mabel out here challenging the Allied powers. Now, if Lex was here and I wasn't, I know what he'd do. He'd go out and he'd find the best partner he could ever find in the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, but I'm not available.
Would you people like to see the British Bulldog and Big Daddy Cool take on Mo and Mabel?
What? The British Bulldog and Diesel?
Tonight, would you people like to see Diesel get his hands on Mabel before SummerSlam?
Wait a minute.
Well, how about it, Big Daddy Cool? How about me and you tonight?
You just made my day.
Oh, the phone!
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the British Bulldog squaring off against Middle Dimension here tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Wow, I can't wait.
However, it wasn't a impromptu tag team match all along. This is what happened.
Here comes the British Bulldog. Wait a What? Hey! Hey! What was that? The Bulldog hit Diesel. From behind. What is this? Wait a minute, what's going on? Look at this. Mabel holding. What's the Bulldog saying to Diesel? What's going on? Hey, what is WWF champion, Diesel.
And Diesel, what kind of condition is Diesel going to be in?
Of the Royal Plan. The Royal Plan.
Diesel's in bad shape. And look at that. Mabel with the WWF title up above for all to see. A bad omen. Shawn Michaels is not here. Lex Luger is not here. We'll be back with a further word concerning this conspiracy. Stay with us.
We're back, everyone, to the WWF champion Diesel getting back to his feet. An unbelievable attack. Who knows why Davey Boy Smith did what he did, but unfortunately for the WWF champion, things look very grave for his title defense this Sunday at SummerSlam meeting Mabel. We're told standing by right now, Jerry the King Lawler, I believe Lawler is back there with Men on a Mission. Are you there?
All right, man. Hey, everybody. Here's a little glimpse into the future. This is what it's going to look like after SummerSlam. So get used to it. I want to talk to you more in just a minute, but first, that had to be the biggest shock since Pearl Harbor. British Bulldog, I didn't know you had it in you, but it was great. Tell them about it. Why?
Oh, no comment. Not yet.
Come on, Cornette, tell us why.
King, I gotta echo those sentiments, but I will say one thing. The surprises are gonna keep on coming for Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
It was great. It was great.
Like I said, get used to it. Tell them about it, King Mabel.
This is the first part of the Royal Plan, Big Daddy Cool! And at SummerSlam, this belt is gonna go from over my shoulder to around my slim waist.
All right. Back to you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you see the footage once again. Davey Boy Smith, the clotheslining, the WWF champion from behind, and then later on, of course, the power slam by the British Bulldog to be followed up by the crowning touches, if you would, from King Mabel onto the WWF champion. Who knows what will happen at SummerSlam. We do know this, that returning here to Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, after several weeks of preemption, we will join you in 3 weeks' time. That'll be Monday night, September 11. September 11, ladies and gentlemen, Psycho Sid will face the winner of the Intercontinental Championship ladder matchup at SummerSlam here on Monday Night Raw.
Yep, all big setup. The British Bulldog turned heel, double crossed. British Bulldog double crossed Big Daddy Cool, some know as Kevin Nash. Also, because the fans were chanting USA, and he doesn't, and because he's from England. And Lex Luger's from Lex Luger's an American, and because his English, because British was English roots, and that's led him his contract to be he was no longer with the WWE no more. British Bulldog, I mean Lex Luger, because he had to go back to WCW, made his Nitro debut September 4, 1995, but that was his return to WCW. Then on 2005, on WWE Sunday Night Heat, counting down to SummerSlam 95, and SummerSlam 2005. On the pre-show, the house could count down to SummerSlam 2005. Chris Masters defeated Hurricane with Super Stacy. Then the event that started it all, SummerSlam 2005, took place in the MCI Center, the MCI Center in Washington D.C. held for wrestlers for the promotion's Raw and Smackdown divisions. The first show of the night was first match. Chris Benoit defeated Orlando Jones for the United States title. Then the Hurricane, and then Edge defeated Matt Hardy by a technical knockout singles match. Rey Mysterio defeated Eddie Guerrero in a ladder match with custody of Dominic, which Dum Dum is now a piece of garbage right now. Kurt Angle defeated Eugene with Christy Hemme in a singles match for Kurt Angle's Olympic gold medal. Randy Orton defeated The Undertaker in a singles match because it was an interference by his father, Cowboy Bob Orton. A little screw job. He got screwed. John Cena defeated Chris Jericho for the WWE title. Batista defeated JBL for the No Holds Barred match for the World Heavyweight title. In the main event, Icon versus Icon, Icon versus Legend. Hulk Hogan defeated Shawn Michaels. And rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. Yeah, in pop culture, a couple of movies released in theaters nationwide called movie called American Ultra, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, and Topher Grace. Supporting cast included John Leguizamo, Bill Pullman, and Connie Britton from from movies like Brothers McMullen, Sin City, West Wing 24, and many other shows she was on. Really good actress. And Hitman 47 was released, starring Zachary Quinto. It was a spin-off of the Hitman movies in the video game series Hitman video games. And She's Funny in that way, starring Owen Wilson, Imogen Poots, Kathryn Hahn, Will Forte, Sybil Shepherd, and late Richard Lewis. And Jennifer Aniston was in that movie. Then now it goes to this time August 22nd now, 8:58 right now. Well, I already got mentioned all the birthdays for August 22nd because I accidentally messed it up right now. So I'm gonna go to August the 22nd now. This time. Oh, okay, it's on 11:59 right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, ECW 1995 is just little recaps and everything. Hold on a second. 11:59 right now. Okay, it's 12 a.m. Just give you 1 second. Yeah, I already mentioned AWA. I already mentioned AWA thing, and okay, ECW Hardcore TV. They're showing recasts of WrestlePalooza 95 and also in Philadelphia, and it's hardcore, and all that stuff. Match: Cactus Jack and Dean Malenko and Two Cold Sword defeated ECW TV champion Eddie Guerrero and Steiner Brothers. Mikey Weaver defeated ECW World Champion Sandman 9-title Singapore King match. Then on Monday Night Raw, the night after, SummerSlam 2005. Yeah, that was one of the best matches I mentioned, by the way, about a match between Hulk Hogan, late Hulk Hogan, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. They were shaking hands at the end of the match. It was a good. That was one of the best matches in wrestling history. SummerSlam 2005. Monday Night Raw took place. Hampton Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia. Kurt Angle defeated Shelton Benjamin. Rock Conway defeated Matt Hardy until they continued to destroy till Edge and Lita come out and do commentary, and then they continue to attack Matt Hardy. Big Show defeated Gene Snitsky, got counted out because he was his foot fetish for women's feet. John Cena defeated Chris Jericho in Your Fire match to retain the Ashley Massaro, Candice Michelle, and Tori Wilson. Candice Michelle came out to welcome Ashley Massaro as a new diva in WWE. Until then, this is what happened. Tori Wilson turned heel. Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle turned heel on her, making Tori Wilson a heel again. Going back to WCW, the Invasion storyline. I realized the reason why Don Marie was right about Tori, and was right about Tori Wilson when she feuded with her father, over her father. Don Marie was right about Tori. They were both traded to SmackDown for Stacy They traded Raw for Stacy Keibler and Christy Hemme. Stacy was Stacy Keibler's Stacy Keibler was no longer on Raw, and Christy Hemme had to go to SmackDown. And they were replacing for touring Candice. They replaced Stacy and Christy and Tori Wilson, Candice and Michelle were fill in. And John Cena defeated Chris Jericho in Your Fire match to retain the WWE title. And this was Chris Jericho's last appearance in WWE's contract expired August 25th, 2005. He returned to the WWE on November 19th, 2007 edition around to get revenge on Eric Bischoff. They could. I figured you say they could have Chris Jericho go to SmackDown. Since Eric Bischoff fired him, but that didn't happen. His contract expired on August 25th, 2005. And then what happened was after the match was over, after John Cena defeated defeated Chris Jericho, John Cena wonders why Eric Bischoff did what he did. Jericho, and then what happened was Kurt Angle come from behind, came out and attacked John Cena, and Eric Bischoff told Cena. Eric Bischoff told John Cena. Cena to meet your new opponent, the #1 contender for your WWE title, Kurt Angle, as the show ended. And then Ric Flair was a guest on Carlito's Cabana. Then Carlito had the audacity to spit apple in Ric Flair's face, and then attacked him for good measure. Yeah, and then now 2015, one of the biggest moments in WWE history, NXT Takeover Brooklyn took place in Brooklyn, New York, at Barclays Center Arena. One of the best events of all time. The Hype Brothers, Zack and Mojo, defeated Zack Ryder, Zack and Mojo, Enzo Amore, and Colin Cassidy defeated Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, Chad Gable, and Jordan by pinfall in an 8-man tag team match. Ava Marie defeated Carmella by pinfall in a singles match. Bull Dancy defeated Elias Simpson by pinfall by singles match. Emma defeated Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Dana Brooke by pinfall in a fatal 4-way match. Drew Schlager defeated Tyler Breeze by pinfall in a singles match. Vaughn, Aiden English, and Simon Gotch with blue pants defeated Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss by pinfall. Tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. The Bahal Cruz defeated Ty Dillinger by pinfall. Samoa Joe defeated Baron Corbin by technical submission. A singles match. And when this was a really good match right here, a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship, Bayley defeated Sasha Banks by pinfall. And this had caused and Sasha Banks this had caused Sasha Banks to be no longer be on NXT television, but to be on now on Raw because of the her being part of Team Bad now. That was one of the best matches. Now we got Bayley. We all know she's gonna be a heel back as a heel again. Finn Balor, and then Finn Balor defeated Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the NXT Championship. So that's how big WWE was. Big WWE was 10 years ago. Now it's looking like garbage. That was August 21st. August 22nd, 2015. That was it was celebrated its 10th anniversary yesterday. NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Now it's time for all of you get my predictions for Heatwave right now. That I forgot to mention, bring up Heatwave, which airs tonight. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. I'm gonna go with Jordan Grace. Hank and Tank versus two members of Dark State, Deion Lennox, Orias Griffin, Shaquan Sugars, or Cutler James. tag team match for the NXT Championship. I'm gonna go with Hank and Tank. JC Jane versus Masha Slamovich versus Ash by Elegance. Ash by Elegance. I'm gonna go for the triple match for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. I'm gonna go with Dana Brooke is back on WWE television, but she's still part of NXT and TNA part of TNA. I'm gonna say I say that Ash by Elegance retains. Or I say Ash by Elegance wins. Jada Parker versus Kalani Jones versus Lola Vice from Triple Match determined #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm gonna go with Lola Vice. Chelsea Green and Ethan Page versus Alba Fire and Piper Niven versus Tyra Maysteel and Tavion Heights. I'm gonna go with I say Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, which cheat to win this match. Cheat to win. Obafemi versus Javon Evans for the NXT Championship. I'm gonna say that Omofemi retains. And that's it. I'll do it from everything from my my Smackdown review. So I hope all of you good night, good morning. It's midnight, and it's like late Chair Henshaw. Always just say I like to dress up like Chubby Checker, sing like Lionel Richie, dance like James Brown. Like to get in that hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing the impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. Back in the 80s, I never grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, so I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. So that will do it for all of you. Now this morning I'm gonna close out the show with a little bit of music for all of you. Another song from the Judge Dredd movie soundtrack called "Time" by Royo, by Japanese musician Rio Asuka. That's it. Rio Asuka. I don't know how it's Japanese. Rio Asuka or something. I don't know. So hope all of you good night. And here it is. Time. Hold on 1 second. Time by Rio Asuka from the Judge Dredd movie soundtrack. The movie that stars one of my favorite tough guys, Sylvester Stallone. At the end, where they was heard the end credits of the movie. So here goes. Here's the song. Hope I have a good night. I'm out of here. Peace. $1995, 30 years ago. Here it is. Time by Rio Asuka from the Judge Dredd movie soundtrack. The movie that stars Sylvester Stallone. Here it is, everyone. Good night. Have a good morning. Peace.